The desert night was a sigh of endless sand, a breath across the weary people of Israel. Day after day they walked, with Egypt a fading memory behind them, and the Promised Land an unreachable dream ahead. Inside the tents, the cries of the hungry mingled with the rising tide of complaints, a wildfire of discontent spreading from camp to camp. "Did Moses bring us out here to die?" a man's voice croaked, his wife clutching their shriveled baby. "At least in Egypt, we had meat to eat and bread to fill our stomachs." These complaints reached Moses' ears, word for word. He knelt before the tabernacle, his heart heavy as lead. But then God's voice flowed into his soul like a clear spring. "I will rain down food from heaven for them," he said, "so they may know that I am the Lord your God." In the morning, the first rays of sunlight fell upon the land. The hungry people came out of their tents, rubbing the sleep from their eyes. They hoped to find something to eat in the barren dust, but the sight before them stopped them in their tracks. The entire wilderness was covered in a layer of crystalline white frost. Upon closer inspection, it was not frost at all, but small round white pellets, like coriander seeds or tiny shimmering pearls. A gentle breeze carried their faint sweet fragrance. "What is it?" they asked each other in astonishment. They had never seen anything like it before, and the Hebrew phrase for "what is it?" is manna. Moses walked out, his voice filled with both authority and joy. "This is the food that the Lord has given you." Filled with a mix of awe and excitement, the people began to gather the food that had rained down from heaven. They were amazed to discover that each person's collection was just right. No more, no less. Exactly enough for themselves and their family for one day. One greedy man thought to himself, "I'll gather extra so I don't have to go out tomorrow." He secretly stashed away handfuls of manna. But by nightfall, the extra food was infested with worms and smelled foul. In contrast, those who trusted God and only gathered their daily portion found that their manna remained fresh and could be baked or cooked into bread. This miracle repeated itself every day. The only exception was on the day before the Sabbath, when a double portion of manna appeared. When the people nervously kept the extra supply for the next day, they found that it had not spoiled, but remained perfectly fresh. For the Sabbath was the day of rest given by God. For the next 40 years, through sun and storm, manna appeared promptly every morning. It not only fed millions of hungry souls, but also served as a profound lesson. It taught the Israelites that life's provision comes from God above, not from their own stores. It trained them to trust God each day and to find true rest in His laws. Manna was no longer just food. It became proof of God's faithfulness, a miracle in the wilderness that never ran dry.